Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Jim Jeffries in the house.
Hello.
This is my first time talking to you as a in person. Talking to you as a dad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been a dad now for 2 months. November 6th, so you'll be, by the time this goes out, you'll probably be 2 months old.
And your baby's name is Shaquille?
Hank.
Oh,
Hank.
What did I say?
Hank Shaquille.
Oh, sorry.
Hank Lennon Jeffries.
Lennon, named after the famous communist.
And the Beatle, yes.
Oh, both?
Yeah,
it's
both.
A twofer.
Yeah, we put the I and the O at the end of it.
Do you put umlauts over the O like Motley Crue?
So there was no confusion. And Jeffries isn't even my second name. So he's got a different name from me and his mother.
Really?
Yeah, my real second name's Nugent, but I got a stage name.
But Jim Nugent's cool.
Yeah, well, but my real name's Jeffrey Nugent.
And Jim you just picked out of the air?
No, Jim's my middle name. And then I was going
Jeffrey Jim Nugent?
I was going to call myself Jeffrey James, and I tried that for a week, and then I changed it to Jim Jeffries.
That sounds like a gay porn star.
Jeffrey James.
Eat that mic for me.
Yeah,
No, I meant literally. I meant. I realized it came. I'm just a gay porn star. Eat that mic. Things overheard at a gay porn shoot. Eat that mic.
Eat that mic's a good name for a porn movie.
Eat that. Yeah, it'd be like Last Comic Standing with dicks.
Yeah. I actually got given the girl who does my hair. Not in general life, but on the TV show. She is some connection to porn. She used to work in porn, doing porn hair. And so she brought me in a whole lot of free porn, and I've got a copy of Tosh Porno.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, where they just look at internet clips of people fucking, and he makes jokes about it while it's going on.
It's really the lost niche that never took off, and that is porn bloopers. You always think it's a good idea.
You've watched them though. You've tried to watch them, but it's just sad.
Yeah, and
it's
then
always
it's
someone
like
slipping over as they come, and it's
a girl
not funny.
Like, that's my eye, you asshole.
Yeah, or some guy farting in someone's face. It's never pleasant. You actually feel bad for the people.
Yeah, it never.
And that makes porn lose its fun. As soon as you feel bad for the porn star, it's lost all of its appeal.
Yeah, I really need to feel better than you, not feel better than you because you're getting injured because the mule that was supposed to fuck you kicked you in the stomach.
I used to say a joke years ago about my favorite porn star was Rocco Siffredi, and people always wondered why my favorite porn star was a man, because when you watch him, there's a little bit of your brain that goes, she might die.
when she's with him?
He was so violent, that guy. But it's you know how old you're getting by... Now I look at, like, there's porn stars that I used to like that now I'm like, oh, I'm done with you. You're too old.
We're breaking up.
Yeah, right. Because you have your girls that you're into for a little while, and then you get rid of them. I used to like Sylvia Saint was a big one for me, and now she just looks like Euro trash. I don't really...
I like how you say that, like she wasn't Eurotrash when she came upon the scene. Like she used to be an all-American down-home girl, and now she's just like Eurotrash.
Well, she is European. She's Czech, I think. I don't know.
She's a porn star. She kind of came off the boat as fucking trash.
Do you ever feel bad when one of them dies?
At Ellis Island, she said, "I would like to chug cock. Please point." And then you're like, you know what? Now she's kind of tarnished.
I think she did it in Europe, in her defense.
All right.
I don't think she came over.
Still, so there's American trash and Eurotrash.
Yeah, there's Eurotrash as well. Which is a different thing. They have a TV show in the UK called Eurotrash, which is just them. It's a comedy show about porn that's on like regular TV.
How many TV shows are there about porn? Oh, I want to go back to your porn hairstylist.
Have I ever told you the story about when I was in a porn?
No.
There we go. See, there's things you don't know about me.
There's many.
When I first started doing comedy in the UK, and I'd been doing comedy for about 6 months, my manager came to me with a proposition of doing a porno as a host.
Okay.
Right? I have the footage of it. There's a video that I have that I've brought back from in storage in the UK. It does exist, but basically what it was there was a TV show that was very popular in the UK called Stars in Their Eyes, which was basically people would come on the show and go, tonight, Matthew, who was the host, I'm going to be Paul McCartney. And they'd put you in the outfit and they'd give you the wig and you'd come out and you'd sing Yesterday, right?
Okay.
Or you could be anyone you wanted to. And that was people being dressed up as their favorite celebrity.
Right.
But like they used to have celebrity stars in those where Boy George came on and did David Bowie and stuff like that. So like it was a popular show, right? Anyway, I did a parody version of that called Come in Their Eyes, where I was the game show host, right? And we had this one girl come out, and I was about 23 at this stage. I was a real young bloke, and I'd never been in
not
front
old
of
enough to know about it.
No, not even being in front of a camera or anything. This is a great bit of training for me. And I dressed up in my one suit that I had. I think I was getting maybe £1,000, which was a lot of money, especially when the girl who got fucked in the ass got £300, because British porn doesn't pay much, right? So anyway, so they got.
No wonder Sylvia Saint came here.
Yeah, these were pretty low. This is a low rank girl. Now the guy, I don't know how much he was getting paid, but the guy came out and I said, "Who are you going to be today?" And he goes, "Tonight, Jim." I used my real name, of course, in the porn. I didn't have a. Anyway, he goes, "Tonight, Jim, I'm going to be Eminem." And this is back in the Eminem dungaree, like overalls, hockey mask, chainsaw era.
Yeah. And
right?
what girl doesn't want to get fucked by that?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you who. A girl that dressed as Britney Spears, and she came out in the Hit Me Baby One More Time with the pigtails and the pink things and
that might have been Britney Spears in all fairness.
and the school outfit. And at that stage, those two had been slagging each other off in the media, so it was controversial, it was topical. And so he came out, it goes through the smoky door, and they come out dressed. And then I sort of went, well, do what you got to do. Then I fucking step off the set. And then I just sat there as they filmed these people fucking for about 4 hours. The guy left his hockey mask on during the whole thing and only lifted it up ever so slightly to go down on it, just so his tongue was poking out the bottom. Anyway, one of the coolest things about it, that I'll remember this moment till I die, right? That we were they were changing camera angle, not camera angles, it's fucking handheld, lighting or set or whatever. They were changing something around. And the guy's still wearing the hockey mask, and I'm sitting on a stool because I had an erection. I normally don't wear a suit. And like, if you never wear a suit, it feels like pajama pants, doesn't it? Like this flowy cotton instead of wearing denim next to your crotch. It was very awkward. So
you can hide a boner in jeans easy.
Just
point it straight up.
Yeah, but in a suit, it's...
It's a big
anyway, so I'm sitting there with my erection because I've been watching people fucking, and this guy in the hockey mask, he came and stood next to me. So I'm sitting in a chair, and at eye level, his erection's right next to my face, and he's just masturbating to stay hard, right? And I'm sitting there, and he's just chatting to people, and he turns to me and he goes, "Hey Jim, how'd you get into comedy?" And I went, "Oh, just did some open spots when I was at university, standard sort of thing." And he doesn't stop stroking, and he goes, "I don't know how you do that, mate. That's got to be the hardest job in the world." And they went back to fucking. Now, at the end of it, I don't know if people know the porn world as much, but the cum shots, these guys fuck so much, it's very hard for them to come using another person, So,
what do you mean?
Well, you know how sometimes, like, if you're fucking someone and you've been going out with them for long enough, you're a bit used to the cunt, and you're like this thing's not going to do it, but your hand can do different pressure, and your hand knows...
Pulling your own nuts.
Yeah, your hand knows what to do, so you might pull it out of your girl and wank for the last 30 seconds to finish the...
Prostate massage.
The gig, right? Yeah, whatever it takes.
Give the undercarriage a bit of the how's your father.
So anyway, they decided they're going to do the cum shot. So she just propped herself up, and it wasn't even like a bed. It was like these styrofoam blocks they were fucking on, right? So
British.
So she's like sitting on the edge of these things, and then he starts wanking in the corner. And as he gets close to coming, he just yells out, "I'm coming," right? And she sort of just perks up a little bit and sits on the bed waiting to get her 300 pounds worth of jizz in the face. And so he's doing that, and then I'm sitting backstage because I've got to come through this smoky door after he comes, and go, wasn't that brilliant? Well done, congratulations, right? So I was getting very nervous, and she yells out to him. She goes, you're a blobber, right? And he goes, oh, yeah, no, I'm a blobber, right? Because they'd worked together, but she was trying to remember whether he was a blobber or a shooter. Shooter obviously meaning that she'd have to get parallel with the cock so the cum could shoot into her face. Blobber, he means he dripped down, so she had to get underneath and do the tongue out.
I didn't know all this lingo. I'm learning so much from Jim.
I only learned it as... So anyway, so he fucking shoots his what, and this is on film.
Why are you writing any material when you can just say this on stage?
Right, so I walk out, and
You're a blobber, right?
and so I walk out and I go, wasn't that great? And I start clapping and I shake him on the hand, right? And then I go to just natural. I just go, oh, I'll kiss her. Oh, Jesus, look at you. Get real close to kissing her on the cheek for whatever reason.
And she's blobbed.
Yeah. Then I put my arm around her and around him and go, that was another episode of Come in Their Eyes. Come and join us next week for another edition. And we wave goodbye like we're a game show. As the camera pulls away. And this was made for British porn channel TV. I don't know if it ever came out on a DVD, but it did air on television.
I think it's on Epics.
I once saw it on a hotel porn. You know when you
Yourself?
like, before I had a laptop, was that era where I was paying for hotel porn, or I'd bring magazines with me or anything. This is 12 years ago, and I paid for it in a hotel in the UK, and they just showed British porn, and I was on the thing.
Did that make you less horny or more horny? How narcissistic
I
are you?
still because I wanked when I wasn't in this thing. But the thing that was upsetting about it, I was doing a weekend at the club, and I went into the dressing room, and one of the comics who was staying in the same hotel just gave me this look that he knew. He'd seen my little... I kept it secret for years. And now I'm like, it might come out one day. If my career gets bigger, it might come out. So
it's out now.
Yeah, so my point is, why don't I be the guy to...
Stay in front of it.
Yeah.
Don't ever be the guy that has to unring the bell.
No,
be the guy that rings it.
Yeah.
You know the saddest part about that story, out of everything you said, is the preamble when you said, I'll remember this when I die. I picture you and your wife holding your hand and like a 60-year-old child, your son going, it's okay, Dad, go into the light. And all you picture is going in to kiss a cum-soaked face and waving goodnight.
Well,
and the smell of Clorox and buttermilk.
Here's the
I said that like Jim Norton because I stink. Yuck.
Here's the kicker, right?
Oh.
Fucking cut to 3 years ago. I'm doing I just sort of come over here, just before I did HBO, or maybe a bit 4 years ago or something, and a newspaper in the UK were doing a feature on me living in LA. And there was a lady who was a journalist called Kate Copstick. She won't mind me mentioning her name in this, but she's a comedy reviewer. That's her whole job, right? And she came out here to do the interview. She also works part-time as a porn director. This
Naturally.
This I didn't know about her, right? She's a fairly sick puppy, right? Anyway, so she goes, I've got a great idea for the photo shoot for the article. You're going up into the Hollywood Hills. They've got this big mansion where they're filming porn today.
Naturally.
Right?
Yeah.
And we'll have a photo. There was a cool photo. It was me standing around in my leather jacket with sunglasses on, and there was all these porn stars. Like, one was mowing the lawn, one was bringing me fruit. It was a great picture for, hey, I'm in LA, right?
Yeah.
A bit wanky if I did it here, but like the show in the UK, it was a cool picture.
If it was here, you should be on someone's lawn in England.
Yeah, exactly.
With a 300-pound porn star.
We're just a fat woman with no teeth.
I meant 300 pounds the money. Or did I?
So anyway, I fucking show up to this point. Christina Rose is doing a blow bang when I walk into the room, right? So
blow bang being
she must have been on a lady days because they were just using her mouth for this scene.
Oh,
right?
so it's like a gangbang with just your mouth.
Just blowjobs, right? And so she's got these guys going,
lady days,
right?
I never heard that before.
And so she's getting all these cocks pounded into her mouth, and then
you're fucking fellers.
And I walk. I walk in like pretty excited, like I've been in LA for a few weeks when this happened, right? And I was like, fucking hell, this is a bit of fun, right? And there's other porn stars wanting to do other scenes, sitting around just in bathrobes, looking very unsexy, you know, just hanging about. And then as I'm watching these cocks going in and out of her mouth, and I've tried to find this point ever since. I recognize one of the cocks. It's the British guy. He made it over here.
Oh.
And good for him as well, right?
Yeah.
So
he's the blobber.
Yeah, the blobber. He's over here, right? He's
Yeah.
married to some Thai chick or something. But
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be?
So anyway, so he's over there. So they finish shooting, and I go, hey, I did that porn. This guy does like 3 porns a week, right? He couldn't remember it. Right? So I had to refresh his brain. I go, you were wearing a hockey mask and you had a chainsaw. And he went, it wasn't that porn. So, you know, that was a nice little...
And then he went on to do your hair.
No, he didn't. There was someone else who does my hair.
When you talk, we should tell the listeners, when you talk about people doing your porn people that do your hair, you're of course talking about your show Legit on FX January 17th, 10:30 Thursday.
10:30 Thursday,
after Archer. So that's hot. To be Archer and then right away into Jim Jeffries' show Legit, where you play yourself.
Yeah, and then I think it's Russell Brand after us.
I like his show a lot.
Yeah, I like it. I liked when he had the Baptist church on.
You know what I like about Russell Brand's show? I haven't seen your show yet. Otherwise, I'd tell you what I like about your show. But we'll do this again, and I'll tell you all the things I like about your show. I like your director a lot, Peter O'Fallon, director of Suicide Kings.
Which, if you press him, he will tell you drunkenly in a bar that was a cult classic.
It wasn't supposed to be. It's supposed to be a big... No one sets out for that. I remember once Christopher Walken made him so mad.
Yeah.
We all just kept laughing because we were all so drunk. Just 5 alcoholics in a house, and we all just started drinking when our coverage was done.
Yeah.
And they had to shoot Walken before noon because after lunch, I don't know whether he was smoking grass and drinking or whatever he was doing, but he just became like an insolent child. Like I remember Peter O'Fallon going, Chris. Yeah. I remember Peter. I'll cover you. Go ahead. I remember Peter O'Fallon going, Chris, you're killing me, and Walken going, why don't you just take that pot out? That was his answer to the fact that I'm sitting here bullshitting. Was he goes, just take that pot out. And then he asked him again, like if you could just say the lines the way they're written, and he goes, well, we're having fun tonight. And I remember walking that day and that night. It went well into night, like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Goes, he just got obsessed with the phrase, are we not men? He just kept saying that over and over. So Peter would come over to him and go, I really need this piece of dialogue for editing. And Chris would lean over and go, are we not men? Like it didn't make any sense. Nothing made sense. And then finally, Peter O'Fallon, standing at the monitors, rips his headsets up. He goes, fuck it, rap. Throws his headsets down, goes in his Range Rover, and actually does a donut in the front yard of the house we were shooting in, just around and around and around. And then he just fucking takes off. It was in Compton, at this big-ass house in Compton. And then the weird thing is you have to see this person 7 hours later.
Oh, I've
he raps, and then it's makeup, and he's like, sorry about last night.
In the time that we've done a TV show, because me and Peter wrote it together on October stuff, we've had one on-set fight where I went, you can fuck off in front of everybody.
He's great, because he's like a guy's guy, like where you can have that conversation. You can tell him to fuck off, and like you guys go to lunch, come back. My experience, I'm sure yours is too.
It was the same. By the time
and you guys just look at each other and like go.
Yeah, exactly. It was. He's obsessed with, because we have a disabled character in the show in the sense that DJ Qualls is playing someone with muscular dystrophy.
Or himself.
Yeah, he just looks sick, right? And so DJ's playing, but Peter's dad died of a similar disease, right?
Oh.
Now the character's from my real life, from a story that I had where I had a childhood friend who had muscular dystrophy and blah blah blah. So anyway, but Peter's obsessed with writing ass-wiping jokes. He can work one into every episode because obviously disabled people have to have someone wipe their
I'm going to
ass.
see how many I can fit into this podcast.
And so...
when that girl, after the blobber,
yeah.
Do you think when she was done wiping her ass... I got nothing. Go ahead.
So I had it with ass-wiping jokes. And then it was like, he did that. You know, these are my stories. What? All right, because these are my stories, and where I just said no, I'm not doing it, and he had a little moment where he told me that I had to do it, and had a little hissy fit. I was tired. And said, I don't tell you how to direct. You don't tell me what's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's a legitimate thing, though, to say. Neither one of you being cunty about it.
Yeah.
Like, it really is the biggest, I think, and I'm sure you would agree with me being a comic, and like an upper 1% comic. Like, there's nothing more tragic than somebody telling you how to make something funny. And that's what gets in the way of, like, great TV shows. I remember on Mohr Sports on ESPN, we had the suits at ESPN going, yeah, we took it out of the monologue. It just wasn't funny. It's like, well, we got 8 comics in a room going, leave that in. That's hilarious. So when you get Peter telling you what's funny, you're in trouble because Peter's not funny at all.
For the most part, he listens to me. No, he can't. Yeah, well, but the thing is, the executives at FX have been fucking grand. There was only one time where it was like they told me to take a joke out, and so we got John Ratzenberg in the show. Right? He's in
From Cheers.
From Cheers, yeah. Fucking love him, right?
What's not to love? He's all sweaty all the time.
And the thing
he's a blobber.
The thing about, I think he would be. He's got a hot wife, man. Fucking hell, he just got married again. His wife.
You don't get a wife like that if you're a shooter.
Yeah, like that Pixar money can get you a nice wife now.
Pixar money's where it's at.
He's a fucking.
Pixar money will get you pregnant.
I wrote a joke for him, and then on the page it reads like it's a dead kid drowning in a pool joke, right? Which isn't pleasant, right?
But when it's up and running,
but
how
if
does it read?
do it, so I had to ring him up and do an impersonation of Ratzenberg and go, hey, the kid drowned in a pool. Anywho, right? If you put anywho on anything that he says, it's all right. It's fucking
right.
And then once they heard the impersonation, they went, oh yeah, that is funny, but they couldn't read it funny.
I think the listeners are kind of stunned you do a John Ratzenberg impression.
If you hang out with Ratzenberger, he is Cliff Clavin.
Oh, I was thinking of Norm.
Who's
that guy?
No, he's the mailman.
Yeah, Cliff.
He's sweaty as well, though.
Yeah. Thanks for saving me.
So he'll sit next to you, be in makeup. He's got bits, I think, but he'll sit next to you and he'll go, hey, Jim, hey, do you know that Jesus had a dog called Tippy? And you'll be like, did he? Yeah, he followed him out on the water and the poor little thing drowned. Right? That's like, and then he'll just walk away. But that's like every day, a little snippet like that. You know those packages you get and they get the paper in the bottom? That's my cut. I invented that cut. They stole it from me.
That's hysterical.
It's all day.
I'm obsessed with. Now, who plays Norm?
Who plays Norm? That's George Wendt.
This episode of Mohr Stories is brought to you by Stamps.com. Think how much time you've been wasting going to the post office, how much money you've wasted leasing an expensive postage meter. Stamps.com is the better way to get postage. Use what you already have, your own computer and printer. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package with Stamps.com. Everything you would do at the post office, you can do right from your desk and at a fraction of the cost of a postage meter. I've been using Stamps.com for months. It's so convenient. Right now, get this special offer when you use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R. It's a no-risk trial. $110 bonus offer. That includes a digital scale of up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in Mohr, M-O-H-R. That's Stamps.com. Enter Mohr. Now, how does the lady doing your hair doing porn come up in casual conversation?
I don't know.
Do you want it feathered? Because when I used to take it in the ass, everybody liked it feathered.
No, she didn't do porn. I think she
styled porn hair. I didn't know porn pubes. She did pubes?
Well, I don't think she did
Merkins and such?
Yeah, everyone loves the word merkin.
Well, especially in an
Australian. It's the one little
Merkins.
weird thing that everyone knows, merkin.
Merkins. You say it great.
Ah, thank you.
You almost sound like a Liverpudlian the way you say it.
Merkin. I mean, merkin? Merkin?
Is that Liverpool?
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah.
That's not how the Beatles sound. You don't sound anything like
the Beatles sound all, like old school Liverpool, right? But all right there, John, it's time to go back.
Did you know Jesus had a dog named Tippy?
We have to.
And we're bigger than we're dog. Jesus, not Jesus himself.
If you ever go to the Beatles Museum in Liverpool, it's basically like fucking, you go through.
The only reason to go to Liverpool, probably.
Oh, there's lots of cool things in Liverpool, man.
Explain.
Yeah, I love Liverpool. Well, the Liverpool soccer team's a big deal, but you go to the Beatles too, you can see Abbey Road, not Abbey Road, fucking Strawberry Fields and John Lennon's house and Paul McCartney's house.
Strawberry Fields was New York's Central Park.
Yeah, shut up.
I really did. I swear to God.
Strawberry Fields was the orphanage that was on the back lot near John Lennon's house, and he used to go play with the kids there.
Really?
Yeah. It was Salvation Army orphanage.
Who's your favorite
And
Beatle?
the thing was that his Aunt Mim used to say to him, don't go there, you can get in a lot of trouble and all that type of stuff. And he said, will they hang me? Because that was still corporal punishment. And there's nothing to get hung about.
Oh. Is he your favorite Beatle?
Yeah, I'm a Paul McCartney guy as well.
I'm a Paul guy. But you know what?
I think a lot of people give him a lot of grief.
I loathed him, and the more I bathed myself in the Beatles catalog, I realized, oh, it's kind of 80% Paul.
And also, Paul was the one that made him. The workload that came out was because of him.
That's what I'm saying.
If you watch the documentaries, there's this bit where Ringo's was like getting fucking wrecked with John, and they could tell every time that it was Paul ringing. They go, oh, it's him. The phone would ring. We have to get back to work. Yeah, he wants another album. And they've been wrecked in a house for 2 weeks going, oh, fuck, he's calling.
Do you ever see on The Family Guy when Peter Griffin was in the Beatles, and he goes, that's a great song you wrote, Ringo. We're going to put it right up here on the refrigerator where everybody can see it. And they just put his song like a fucking child art on the fridge.
This is the thing, the museums, like, you go through and it's all the albums, the Beatlemania, and then going into Revolver, and then the White Album. And then at the end, it's like you go into their solo career. So the first room you walk into is just a pair of glasses that John Lennon was shot in, and it's playing John Lennon music and just all the John Lennon.
It should be playing
all John Lennon memorabilia.
Too soon?
No, too soon.
Okay.
No. It's not the Holocaust.
No.
And then the next one is Paul McCartney, and you see Wings, and on top of that, then George Harrison, you see My Sweet Lord. And then at the very end of the museum, just down the end of the tunnel, all you see is Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, that's right.
And a caveman poster for all of Ringo's shit.
Now, you got a baby boy, so you're about to see the magic of Thomas the Train. And how important
Ringo... Thomas the Train?
Yeah, what do you call him?
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, here in the States, I don't know if you looked out your window, asshole. This is the fucking United States of America, man.
And you guys had George Carling do it, didn't you?
And Alec Baldwin.
And you don't... See, this is the thing I don't like.
That's the job I'm not kidding.
He did the movie, though. Alec Baldwin did the movie.
No, he's on the TV show, too.
He did the
Ringo,
voiceover.
Carlin, and Alec. Those are like the three guys. So like that's if I could land that gig, I'd be so happy.
I liked it when you heard because in Britain they call him the Fat Controller, and you guys just call him the Controller because it's not politically incorrect to call him fat. Right? But his name is. And the Fat Controller said, "All right, there, Thomas. Time to go back to the station."
Right.
Right, and but you guys just call him the Controller. It's a bit weak.
And Sir Topham Hatt in England, is he Fat Sir Topham Hatt?
No, Topham Hatt. That's what you call him, Topham Hatt. He's the Fat Controller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name's the Fat Controller. And why is it? What's the name of the fucking island they all live on?
Sodor.
Sort of. Why does it need such a big rail system for a fucking island?
That's a pretty good point.
You know what I mean?
Like, just a goddamn boomerang with supplies on it.
Yeah, like you just need a UPS truck and a fucking.
You need a boy running with a backpack.
It's a little tiny island, and it's got everything. Every type of train, helicopters, and...
Did you watch... How long has it been on the air in England?
Well, see, my Thomas the Tank Engine knowledge is actually from Australia when my nephew was watching it. So this is 15 years ago I watched it.
I like how you thought I was like an actual crazy person because I called it Thomas the Train. Like, that's what you call it, huh? Okay,
Thomas
crazy
the Train
man.
doesn't have a ring to it.
Like I'm
Thomas
like I
the
told
Tank
you,
Engine.
Like
Thomas the Tank.
Yeah, but
Thomas the Train.
But you reacted like I swam with Nelly, like in the Loch Ness Monster. Like, yeah, so I did.
I just thought you said it wrong, and you sounded like an idiot. You were like, my kid loves Thomas the Train. It is called. It's like calling the Beatles, hey, you like the cockroaches?
You like the Fab Five. I do know it is called Thomas the Tank Engine on a lot of the stuff. Now you got to make me look it up, you jerk. But it is also called. Am I crazy?
What Google searches? What Google searches higher? Thomas the. Let's see, Thomas the. And what's the next word that comes out?
Thomas the Train, right there, dude.
Fuck
off. Tank Engine's third. Thomas the Train Videos. Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas the Blobber.
Yeah, fucking hell.
You think Thomas is a blobber or a shooter?
He's got a lot of steam.
He's a shooter. Yeah, total shooter. James is a blobber.
Big eyes.
And Gordon's a blobber.
I don't know all. I can't remember.
Sir Topham Hatt, total blobber.
Yeah.
He's a total blobber. It's like a bird shit on your windshield when he lets it go.
I don't ever. Yeah, my nephew got really. But there's a moment that kids give up on that, don't they? They just go. I don't.
Yeah, I got two boys, And my oldest boy is 10, and it was like a sad moment when I had to take the train table out of the house and put it in the garage. And there was like that big moment where my wife and I said, "Do we throw it away?" And we were like, "No, because you know what? We're gonna have a baby. Like we're working on it. We're working on it. And right now, 18 months, the kid's bananas for the tank engine, as you would say.
Yeah.
Lining them up, and you get that little tunnel that makes noise. Choo choo. And he just lines them up, and it's got everything you need. It is like the perfect boy toy. Like that we didn't have. We had to use.
I'm a big believer in this whole that people think it's conditioning. I think boys are fucking engineered to like every boy I've ever met, every child, fuck, as soon as the garbage truck comes, they get fucking excited.
Trash truck. My son, if he sees a trash truck, he goes, "Trash truck!"
Yeah.
And he gets bummed out. Now he's 19, 20 months old. If you go, "Look, there's a trash truck," he'll turn his head like it doesn't count. Like, fuck, like you saw it before he did. You stole his shit.
I have a small trash truck story. Hang on, okay.
Real quick, everyone, January 17th, watch Legit on FX. What's your Twitter handle? At
Jim Jeffries.
And that's with an E, Jeffries.
Jeffries, yes.
Because there's a Jim Jeffries that's not you.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
It's Jefffereries.
Yeah,
Warriors, get after him.
I don't mind having a fake page, but please don't write to other comedians and tell them they suck. That's what the fake Jim Jeffries does.
Oh, really?
And I can't get it taken down because he writes parody on the page, so you can't. It's not anyway.
Well, he sucks.
But so
You don't.
My father built a house on a rock. Is where I grew up
In
Sydney. It's hard to explain, right? My dad bought a shitty block of land, which turned out to be a very nice suburb of Sydney, but at the time it was just like, come out to St Ives, buy some land, you know what I mean? And so it had like a big fucking sandstone rock on the fucking property, and it went out over a cliff's edge. So what my dad did was he built the house on top of the rock and built walls down the side of the rock, right? But he put fucking doors and windows into these walls. So it looked from outside that we lived in a big house with a second story. But we just lived on the little bit on top of the rock, right? So you could go down, you could open these doors up, but it would just be a fucking rock wall in front of you.
Yeah. It's like the Winchester Mystery House.
Right. Yeah. Well, not exactly. Yeah, but it was odd.
Just say sort of.
Sure, sort of, yeah. So we opened the door, it's just rock. So when I must have been maybe 10, and my dad, he bought a jackhammer. And
A jackhammer?
Jackhammer, yeah.
Okay.
And he started fucking, he thought he was going to chisel us out a second story. Right? Right? So the thing was, and each day you get further into the rock. At one stage, he got so far into the rock that you could go inside the rock like a Flintstones house with a rock roof.
He should have been happy with that and built a sauna.
Yeah, but, you know, he kept going and putting support beams into the...
It's greedy,
the
your
thing
father.
didn't. So the big problem is, this was about 1,500 square feet of rock.
Hold on. I can already imagine on the internet, on the Tumblr page, it's going to be a picture of the fucking Flintstones house, and it's going to say Jim Jeffries' dad pointing to Fred. That's just a matter of time before that shit's up on the internet. Go ahead.
So the problem is, it's like the Great Escape.
Yeah.
Where do you get rid of the rock? Right? So my dad started off with building a rock path out to the mailbox. But that didn't use up enough rock, right? So what he did was he made the rock path wind so as to use a bit more rock. Then we had a big wide driveway, and he built rock walls on either side like it was a fucking farm in Scotland. Right?
Then he built a rock town.
Yeah, but the thing is, it went from
Rock of Ages.
This driveway could fit 2 cars. It could only fit 1 car in the end because he built in the rock so much that the driveway got narrower. Then he got rid of the fence at the back and he made a rock wall out the back of the fence. I think we can probably Google map it and I can show you all the rock features. Right? If you want to see the...
If you tell the story about you and your brother, what you found in the garage that belonged to your dad's, we'll segue into that.
But anyway, so
that's what I got.
So rocks everywhere. But then it was like he was out of rocks, out of spaces to build rocks. And he still was only halfway through this jackhammer operation.
Wait, hold on. Where'd your father get a jackhammer?
My dad's a carpenter. He's a construction guy. He probably nicked it from a fucking site or something. He just bought it, I think.
You don't buy jackhammers. There's no jackhammer store. You don't go to the pharmacy and go, I'd like my prescription and a jackhammer.
What?
Amazon.com. Get a jackhammer.
This is a country
Use
where you
the
can buy
jmore.com.
machine guns, and you're going, you can't get a jackhammer? How would you fucking let
It's
someone...
easier in the States to get a machine gun than it is to get a jackhammer. Write it down.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd
Put
like
that
to
in
see
your-
some jackhammer massacres happen if I can see the world
Who
a lot
wouldn't?
better.
Put that in your goddamn TV show and write it out and tell Peter O'Fallon how to do it over the phone. And he tells you it's not funny and it's got to come out because it's a wiping your ass joke. I think that's all of it. Go ahead.
Anyway, fucking, my dad decided he'd disperse rocks through the bins because the council wouldn't let you throw away. He wouldn't let you throw away rocks, so you couldn't put just rocks in there. They had to be scattered through. So if you had a waste paper bin in your bedroom, and if you went to throw it out, your dad would go, where are you going with that? And my dad would take my garbage and put 2 rocks in there and then seal the bag up and then 2 rocks in the kitchen one. And that was his way. It was, it was a painstaking process, but still easier than what they did in The Great Escape with the bags of dirt out the fucking legs, right? Anyway, one week he must have gotten rock happy on the garbage. This is where it links back to the garbage truck.
Yeah.
And the fucking...
Hey, Jim, I'm the last guy you got to convinced that you're going to circle back. I'm your guy. I know you got it covered, dude.
He's in the garage fucking doing some carpentry, hammering something
Some
together.
shit.
Doing some shit to fucking feed us. Right? And the fucking garbage truck comes by. We had the ones with the claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that lift up now like that. But we had ones that were a metal claw that came out. And it was a round bin.
Yeah.
Round bin. It would claw the thing and then it would tip it back up. Very impressive to a kid. These kids today think they're looking at good garbage trucks. They got nothing on the old Australian ones. Anyway, this thing fucking picked up the bin. And this is a hydraulic fucking system. It should be able to pick up a car and crush it, right?
Right.
But it picked up the bin and went... and it couldn't fucking take it and it dropped it. The plastic bin cracked. It rolled over. So we lived in a big hill. And all these rocks started rolling down the hill. The garbage man comes out. I was at school when this happened. I missed all this glory time. I've only been told this by Dad. Right? And went, you always fucking do this to me, you bastards. And starts throwing rocks at the house. Smashing the windows above the garage door. Because we had these windows that had no purpose. They just...
The windows that led to the rock.
Yeah.
So it's come full circle.
Come
now.
full circle.
The circle of life with the rock.
Now, I've never told this story on stage because it
Throwing rock
doesn't
at the
have a
rock.
good ending except for my dad having some guy throwing rocks at him while he was trying to work and he's hitting the buzzer to make the roller door go down. But my dad built a house on a rock.
That's so... now, where were you guys when you had the garage where you and your brother found a vibrator?
That was the same deal. That was the same place where my dad was hammering where the rocks were thrown. The garage was always there. It was attached to the end of the rock. And then
Will you tell that story? I know it's on your show, your HBO special. You can truncate it, make it a short version. You can say no, too.
The problem is that's a lot of acting in that story. I got to do the run. I got to do the, hey, what you got there? That's the best bit of that story.
Just say a little of it.
The basically what happened
How
was...
happy I am right now.
Basically what happened was...
Damn, you funny bastard.
Me and my brother used to go out into the garage a lot because there was 4... I'll tell the real story, not the stage story. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah. So we used to go out to the garage because there was 4 porno mags out there that my dad had hidden inside like fucking car journals. And these were like Playboys from the 1970s, like big hairy muffs.
Big bush, yeah.
Yeah, and so I used to...
Bush, yeah.
My brother used to go out there and fucking masturbate to these fucking... So we were often in the garage doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now on stage I tell the story like... On stage, I tell the story like we were emptying out the garage. But the truth of the matter is, my brother found a vibrator in a box. Right? It was in a box with a whole lot of other things.
Now, did you live alone with your father?
No, my mother was still there.
Oh, okay.
Sure wasn't the jackhammer?
No.
Oh, my God.
It was an attachment.
It was an attachment with a jackhammer. Matty boy, you've done it again.
So we find this vibrator, and then... we didn't know what it was. I was very young.
It wasn't like Dick.
It was like one of those old, one of the ones you get now, which is just like a white fucking tube, with a thing on the end.
I like. You said tube like it was the most disgusting. A tube. Like ugh.
So
that was great.
So fucking
tube.
So my brother sees it and he shows it to me, and we don't know what it is. Maybe me. I might have asked Dad. I said, "What's this thing, Dad?" Like next time we saw him. And then Dad went, "Oh, bloody hell! Oh, Jesus! Whoa! What do you got there?" Oh, that's a great impersonation of my dad, by the way. And then he goes, "It's a back massage. You just massage things with that." And he turns it on, and he. And now, as a father, I can see why this would have been funny to him to stand in front of his kids, because we didn't know what the fuck it was, and to go, "Oh, that feels good. Oh, so relaxing, very relaxed, feeling good," right? So he does that, and then he puts it back in the box, and then he thinks we're done with it, right? Cut to maybe 2-3 days later, my brother Scotty comes out to me and goes, "Jim," well, Jeffrey back then, "garage," right? And so we go to the garage.
House meeting, right?
Yeah, so it was above the cupboard that had the 4 porn magazines. And we climbed on boxes, and he got right up there and he pulled it out. And he did the thing, anyone who has an older brother will know what I'm talking about, is the you push me first on the swings, and then I'll push you, right? And they'll say, "You got to push me for 5 minutes, and I'll push you for 5 minutes." And they'll either, when it's your turn, they'll tell you that 5 minutes takes 30 seconds and that you're an idiot, or they'll just run away and leave you crying and trying to swing back and forth yourself, right? So my brother did this. You massage my back, and then I'll massage your back, right? We were in the dark. I think it was the middle of the day, so it was bright outside. So we're in the dark of this fucking garage. My dad also had a pit in the floor to work in his car. We jackhammered a hole in the floor of the garage.
I think your dad killed women.
Yeah, so he still might. Anyway, I'll tell you a story about that in a second. Anyway, fucking, I massaged my brother's back for about 5 minutes, and with the vibrator. But the thing about it was, he was getting a genuine sort of, "Oh yeah, that's good," right? And then it was my turn, and then he just dropped the vibrator and ran out. And I remember I was about 5 or something, and I just remember crying, maybe 6, and I was just crying sitting there. And I picked up the vibrator and I turned it on, and I started rubbing my own back with it. At that moment, the garage door opens and Dad's car drives in to see his youngest son vibrating his back with a vibrator. And he looks at me.
Now, he told you it's for massaging, so you don't drop it and run.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just looking at him.
I just looked at him like that's what I was allowed to do,
like,
right?
You're right.
But
this is relaxing.
But the thing is, also, I'm crying whilst doing it.
As you should be.
That's the whole thing. But he said something to me that I say this and say, and this is what he did say. He looked me in the eye and he went, "Did Scott fuck you over again?" Right? It's just like he knew that cry was that Scott had fucked me over one more time. And then he took it off my hands and he said, "Now," he goes, "You're not to play with this, all right? You're not to play with this. This is Dad's." Now that's the sentence that haunts me. Not that he said that just don't play with it. The fact that he stipulated that it was his and not Mum's.
Would it make you feel better as an adult knowing? Really?
If I have visions of my dad with these 4 porn magazines using this vibrator in some suspicious way in his fucking rock castle underneath the house.
I think Matty Boy was right. I think your dad used it to break up the little rocks. The itty bitty guys. You got to pebble it out.
My parents have just come back from a cruise. And they went on one of those big-ass boats with like the 11 pools and the shopping centres. You know how big they are now?
Yeah, I think they're called cruise ships.
Yeah, but they weren't these. They've only gotten this big in like the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking massive ones.
Princess Cruise, Carnival Cruise, Tom Cruise.
So I think they've probably been this big in the US, but in Australia, this is the first time they've had one of these big boats down there. You know. So anyway, they've gone on this fucking cruise, and my mother has been in poor health since she was born. She's just she's got a little bit of, she likes being sick for the attention, but she had fucking polio. Like, how many people have polio? Like, you know.
Testicular cancer.
Yeah. So she had polio. Now, then she had a bad back my whole childhood and said she couldn't fucking move. And then she got diabetes, and that was like a happy day for her. Like, no one can deny this. There's a needle involved, right? So, but now as she's hit 70 and she's morbidly obese and all that type of stuff, she's not digging being sick anymore. She used to really dig being sick. Like, it was the only time people visited her. Right? Yeah. And now she's like, fuck, I might actually be sick and I might fucking die, right? So she's not digging being sick like she used to. So anyway,
Not that much attention because at 7 you're kind of supposed to be
Yeah,
sick
people
now.
are like, yeah,
At
you-
30, when you got fucking scurvy,
Yeah,
people are
just-
like, oh, that's too bad.
I'll
she's
go
got
visit her in
scurvy.
the hospital.
But when you're 70, you're like, yeah, well, she's old.
So 2 Christmases ago now, so a year ago now, I was over there and she's walking along with a fucking saucer, you know, a little plate. You call them saucers here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So a little plate, right? She walks past her cuckoo clock on the fucking hour, which we all know is dangerous. Right? Right? And this thing startles her.
I
right?
never thought of it till that exact moment, but I'll never not think of that ever again.
And so the thing goes cuckoo and comes out and she goes, whoa, and shits herself a little bit and falls over and she falls into this fucking plate. So the little plate goes into her knee, shatters, and this fucking saucer slices up into her leg and she's just laying in a fucking big fat woman, can't get up, fucking puddle of blood everywhere, fell into a fucking plate, right? And so I'm due to come back. I'm due to come back for Christmas. My dad's picking me up. Dad's picking me up from the airport the next day, and he rings me as I'm about to get on the plane. He goes, "Oh, your mum's not going to be here for Christmas." I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Oh, she fell over on the hour, and a plate went into her leg. And you don't want ceramic's a real nasty cut. I got to tell you." And he goes, she was bleeding everywhere. He goes, the ambulance came. It took fucking 3 of them to lift her up on a stretcher. There's bloody blood everywhere. But he goes, on the upside, they said I did a remarkable job bandaging that up. They were really impressed with my work. He was just so proud of
Your
his...
dad sounds very British. Is he British or
No,
Australian?
he's Australian. And so he goes, oh, so, you know, I stitched that up. And no, I bandaged that up. She's going to be in the hospital for probably a couple of weeks, right? And I said, oh, that's all right. We'll visit her. And like, fucking cut to 4 months later because of the diabetes and all this fucking leg wouldn't heal up. She gets an infection in the hospital. She's just fucked, right? Then she gets deep vein thrombosis.
What's that?
It's what you get from sitting in economy on a 24-hour flight where you get blood clots in your legs. And like 200 people die from it every year. They get off a plane, they drop dead the next day type of thing, right?
Jesus.
So she got a fucking deep vein thrombosis from fucking laying down, right? So eventually the knee heals up and she comes back and then she's like, I think I might come and visit you in Los Angeles when she finds out my girlfriend's pregnant. I said, are you fucking kidding? You can't get up and down fucking stairs. You're going to visit me in Los Angeles? Like that, right? I go, you got deep vein thrombosis from laying down in bed. Imagine sitting in economy for 12 hours. You'll fucking die. My health insurance is expensive in this country. No one will insure you. And she goes, I think I can do it. So they bought tickets to come out here to see the baby, right? Then they go on a fucking cruise. She gets deep vein thrombosis again on a fucking boat. You can't travel more luxuriously than in a boat.
No, you can't.
Right?
You can be on a pool in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's very meta.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing. So fucking... On the second day, she's bedridden and put into the fucking hospital. But that's when my dad's holiday starts. He's free.
He no longer has to
he's
mind a fat woman
he's
on
got
a
all
ship.
He's got all these pictures of him hanging out with girls in bikinis. And he's fucking leathered drunk all the time because he can just walk back to his fucking room. But this is the thing. So I Skype him when I come back and I go, how's your holiday? And I can see my mum. My mum holds the fucking iPad on her tits, just rested on her tits. So you're just looking up this fat lady's nose, right? And she goes, I had a terrible time. I spent the whole time in the hospital. Like that, right? And then my dad rocks up behind her. He's wearing a T-shirt. And he goes, sexiest man, came fourth in the sexiest man competition. So while his wife's in hospital, they have all the young blokes come out to do sexiest man competition, and Dad goes, I fucking gave him a run for their money. They gave him 4th prize as a novelty type of thing, you know. First was a
Don't tell
gold.
him that.
Yeah, right. So he's like, sexiest man. He goes, the woman who was judging it, she didn't have a sense of humour. No sense of humour. Tried to sit on her lap and flirt with her a bit. She wasn't having any of it.
This is on the ship?
This is on the ship.
And there's a hospital on the ship for
Yeah,
your
of
fat
course,
mom
for fucking
who had
old people
thrombosis.
dying and shit.
So your mom is, how much would you guess pounds that she
Well,
weighs?
she's probably 250 now, but she was well over 300
With
years ago. But
thrombosis.
because she's been sick and
How
in
did she
hospital.
how did she wipe her ass?
What's that?
How did
she? With great difficulty. I don't know. I have visions of that woman's ass from my childhood, because there was no towel that wrapped around them that they made in Australia, right? And the bathroom to her bedroom was maybe a 12-foot scurry, right? that passed by my door, right? And she would just.
I've never seen Matty Boy laugh this hard in any interview.
She would just hold the towel over her tits and sort of drape it down over her stomach. And she had that stomach that split in two. You know, you get the double stomach where it goes, we can't buoyance as one fold. We're going to separate. And,
yeah, for safety.
Yeah. And she does this fucking...
Pontoons.
She does this scurry. She would, like as dainty as the hippos in Fantasia. You know, like in the tutus.
You fucking jerk.
And she would scurry across. So I have the vision of that ass tattooed. I'll tell you another story about my mother in a way. Because the thing is, she won't listen to this because it's a podcast. She won't get to this one. And
you guys have to watch Jim Jeffries' show. Make it a big-assed hit so this prick could get paid for the rest of his life, because we can't have him stop telling us stories.
Second season, we're going to bring in a character as my mum.
Or don't watch his show, so it's a failure, so he has to go back on the road and go to your town to tell the stories.
I'll still be on the road.
Okay, then watch his show, January 17th, 10:30 at night after
10:30 at night. And it's, if you like my stand-up stories, they're all just direct stories from my stand-up, man.
Oh, it's that time of year. Create your own calendar, you guys, for 2013. Personalized calendars are cool. Don't get the one with the stupid kitty on it that says Mondays are a bummer. Make one with you, your family, your business. Do it at Vistaprint. Vistaprint is cool. Personal photos, text images, captions, notes for special dates. Any starting month you want, I would suggest January. Personally, it's fun, it's unique. Listen to this word, affordable. It's a great gift for your customers. If you're running a business and you hand somebody a calendar and you can black out dates that are important to your business, think about that for a second. February 8th, you got some big sales conference, you black that out. People know it's happening. The employees can never say, I didn't know about it. Yes, you did. It was on the Vistaprint calendar. Nice try. You're fired. Wall calendars, desk calendars, poster calendars, wallet calendars, magnet calendars, card calendars, calendar calendars. There are even calendar calendars. Choose from hundreds of calendar templates. Very easy to design and order. All of these, including wall, desk, poster, wallet, they're 50% off, and you get free shipping on your entire order if you spend more than $30. $30, that's it. Go to www.vistaprint.com/Mohr Stories to get this incredible radio offer. Just go to www.vistaprint.com/Mohr Stories. Satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not happy, they're going to make it right. No risk. Do it. Vistaprint.com/Mohr Stories. You've been told what to do. I think you stole your stories.
What?
We were talking before off mic how people go, your show about yourself. You stole that from Louis C.K.
Yeah, because he plays himself as well.
You stole your show from Louis C.K. Like you're being accused by assholes on the internet of stealing your own life. You're a fucking lose-lose. You can't win.
So I had a girlfriend I lived with in the UK for 4 years, and I thought I was going to marry her really, but she left me. She left me one day. I came home and the fucking house was empty. But that's another day.
Is this the one that you got the home invasion with?
Yeah, same.
All right, we remember.
That's episode 4, the home invasion. Yep. Although I've watched it, it's a very comical version of the breaking.
I love when they go, give us the drugs, and you and your friend are just smoking a joint on the couch, and your buddy just hands the joint to the guys because they thought you were a drug kingpin.
That's dead set in the show. That's such
a great. Oh God.
But anyway, so.
That story works really well for me on the road.
I bring the girlfriend back to Australia, and like.
How long a flight is that from England to Australia?
I'll tell you another story quickly before this, which is that my pregnant girlfriend, it happened very quickly. We met on the show in the pilot type of thing. So I bring her back when I know she's knocked up, and I thought, well, I'll tell my parents to their face with her sitting there, right? Because I'm having an illegitimate child, which they'll be very proud of, because my mother has aspirations of being more posh than she actually is. And anyway,
She should have aspirations of being thinner.
Well, no, she gave up on them years ago.
All right.
Anytime you find chocolate under a sofa that's hidden. Anyway.
So she's gonna be posh and fat.
My brother
Fosh.
had wrote a map of the house, which detailed where all the chocolate was hidden, right? And he had all the use by dates written next to it on this blueprint that he fucking got. And our theory was that if it hit the use by date, then she'd forgotten where she hid it, right? Like you could lift up a picture like this, and chocolate would just fall out. The fucking
Your house sounds like it's like being like in Goonies.
It
like
was. It was similar to that.
There's like rock formations
so
and trash trucks with hydraulics
anyway,
breaking
my
down,
fucking-
chocolate treats.
My girlfriend's Canadian, right? She's an American now, but she's from Canada originally.
They're never not Canadian.
Yeah. So
Whatever she tells you.
She's from Canada, right? So we get picked up at the airport. I go, you've met Kate, right?
Yeah,
We're sitting in the
She's
back,
great.
and we're sitting in the back of this car, and fucking my dad goes, "Oh, you're Canadian, eh? Canadian." Oh, yeah. He goes, we were at the zoo. Where the fuck is he heading with this? we were at the zoo. Me and Carolyn were at the zoo, and we met a Canadian girl as a backpacker who was there by herself, right? So we took her around Sydney. Like, who the fuck is this 20-something-year-old who gets in the car with my 70-year-old eccentric parents?
Because she knows your dad took 4th place in the Sexiest Man contest.
Exactly.
She knows a fucking hot stud, a shooter when she sees one. That guy's a straight shooter.
So she goes,
That's all there is to it. This is my new voice, man.
He goes like this. He goes, we took her all around Sydney. He goes, oh, yeah, we took her down to Bondi Beach. We took her down to the beach. And I'll tell you, all she wanted to do, Kate, was she wanted to sunbake topless, because you can't do that in Canada. I learnt that. You can't do that. You can't, can you? I don't know if Canada's known for its beaches, first of all. Right? You can't do that in Canada. But here in Australia, you can sunbake topless whenever you want, Kate. So if you wanted to do that.
Oh, no.
And I'm sitting there
That's
going.
not creepy at all.
He's just met her. We're driving. I'm sitting there going, oh, my God. And I went, Dad, can you stop? Please, just stop. Right? And then my mum thinks, I'll fix the situation. And my mum goes, oh. She goes, I haven't sunbaked topless since my early 20s. Oh, I'm too big to do that now. But you could do that, Kate. You have a lovely figure.
So now your mom's in on the sunbathing topless.
Fucking creepy, like a couple of serial killers. Anyway.
With a pit in the garage to keep Kate after they chop her up with a jackhammer.
So anyway, fucking... My other girlfriend from years ago, I bring her back to Australia, and I think, all right, introduce her to the parents. And I think she's probably 25 or something. I may be 28 at the time. And
how old are you now?
I'm 35.
Just checking.
I remember I was 30. I was 30 and she was about 25. Yeah, because it wasn't that long ago. So I bring her back to the house, and we got Steve is the bloke that lives next door, and Steve's a boat builder, and he's lived next door to my parents for 45 years, right? And
it's a big boat.
Yeah, and they fucking. Dad and Steve get along. But Wendy, his wife, and my mother don't get that along. And about every 4 or 5 years, they have a bust up where we're not to talk to them for about 5 years.
I don't want you talking to that boat builder.
and then
I think that was Long Island. I don't know what accent that was.
And then they get back together, and something happens, where they're friends again for 6 months, and then another bust up. They're never friends they're as long as they're broken up. They're always broken up way longer than their friends. Oh, yeah? Right. But I was coming during a friend period.
Okay.
Right? So fucking Steve puts his head over the fence.
Steve the boat builder.
Steve puts his head over the rock wall.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah. And he goes, oh, Jeffrey, you're back here. Oh, how have you been? Like that, right? And then he meets the girlfriend, and he goes, I've just built a boat for my retirement that's an old fucking prawn trawler. Right, like a Forrest Gumpy type boat,
right? That
I've made into a houseboat, and he goes, "I'll take you two out on the harbour." Now, Sydney Harbour, if you're going to go, is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. For that harbour, is a beautiful place to go out on a boat, right? And so I thought, yeah, fucking hell, we'll do that because a girl from the UK will appreciate that little day out. Right?
What do you got, their son?
Yeah, there's sun and it was
No, that's
sun.
it. Sun.
And
That's
it
all
was-
you need to impress a
And
girl from
we
UK.
were going to go to the fish markets and buy some fish and then try them. And so fucking
Take out my
mum-
dad's vibrator, sunbathe topless.
My mum pipes up and she goes, she's still in the car. Fucking Steve doesn't know she's in the car. And mum goes, oh, I'd like to go on that as well. We'll all make a day of it, right?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, and Dad's like, oh fuck, this will end in tears, right? so we go down to the boat. We go down to the boat, and the first bit is because it's a prawn trawler, it hasn't got a little door in it. You got to put your leg over.
Like a hippo in Fantasia.
Yeah. So we get
Dance
there.
onto the boat,
We get
cunta.
there. There's a 2.5 foot railing. There's our first obstacle, right? Everyone else has jumped on. We're on the boat. Oh. So I lift a leg. Dad lifts a leg.
No.
She slides in. Oh.
Slide.
Right.
No one's ever slid into a prawn
And
troller
she's just
before.
sitting there. She's just sitting there like, that was hard work. So we go out in the boat. We have a lovely day, and then we're coming back through Sydney Harbour back to to Lane Cove where he's got his boat moored. And I walk past the galley, the little bit underneath where he's put a little bedroom and a little bathroom, and I hear
Steve, he did it right.
I hear some crying. And I poke my head down. And there's Mum sitting on the side of the bed just, oh. And I said, what are you crying down here for? What the fuck are you doing down here? And she goes, oh, now you got to remember that it's like basically a staircase that's it's like a slight slope, and it's about that. It's about maybe 2 feet wide to get into this area.
Yeah.
We were on the boat for 5 hours. She needed to piss, right? And the panic set in. She had to. She couldn't just piss upstairs, so she went down into the boat, which was 5 steps down into darkness. Got down there. As soon as she got down there, panic set in that she'll never be able to get back out. Right? She goes, I'm stuck down here, and I'll never get back out. And I went,
Where's
bloody
the
hell.
piss?
It was the toilet. So
Oh,
I
okay.
said,
You left that part out.
And I went,
pissed on
and
the
she
floor.
goes, I said, so what? She goes, what do you fucking come down here? She goes, I needed to go to the toilet. What was I meant to do? And I went, and she goes, I'll never be able to get back out. And I said, well, we'll have to just cut the boat in half then. What do you mean you have to get fucking out? I don't care if it hurts you. You got to get back out. You're stuck in a boat.
But she doesn't have the momentum
Right.
of flying down the stairs anymore.
And I went, yeah, she can get down into it.
You
She
fall
couldn't
down into it,
yeah. And then so I find out later that she never even had a piss because she panicked too much and she got too nervous to urinate, which is fucking moronic. So I get down in the boat and I said, all right, well, you're going to have to fucking go in there. Right? I got a little beam of light coming through this thing. I lift one leg. I get right underneath her, and I lift her leg up onto one of the steps. And I said, there you go. That leg's up on a step. I said, hold on to the railings. And she's fucking wobbling.
It's like having a child,
Yeah,
your mom, it sounds like.
And then I get underneath, and I get all my underneath the ass, and I push up, and she's got 2 feet on the step, and she's holding on to the railing like that, right? And she's crying, and I'm going, oh, fucking hell, right? My girlfriend comes around and goes, hey, Jim, what's going on? And then she sees what she thinks will one day be her mother-in-law just crying, fucking propped up on a thing. And,
A puppet show?
yeah, and I'm like going, oh, Jesus Christ, right? And so she goes, give me your hands, Carolyn, I'll help. So this chick would be about 115 pounds. She's trying to pull this 300, this is when she was at her heaviest, 300-pound thing through this hole.
Up, Gunta.
Right? And I'm yelling out, Dad, go get Dad to help, right? And so she goes off, goes and speaks to my dad. She comes back and she goes, your dad doesn't care.
Your dad sounds awesome.
So
Mom's stuck.
He's been to this rodeo too many times, man. He knows what's
going
funny.
on.
You got to get yourself
Cut the boat in half. He said.
Right? So I say, look, Mum, this is going to hurt, but just lean forward, will you? There's about 6 feet. I go all the way back, and I gain up a bit of momentum, and I shoulder barge this woman's ass with every bit of power that I have. Right? And boom. And I knock her up into the hole. Now, this is no word of a lie. Putting me in complete darkness. Right?
Your mom's blocking light.
The whole ass has blocked the hole. I'm in
The Carolyn eclipse.
I'm in pitch darkness. Can't see a thing. There's just these two fat legs wiggling. There's the muffled
This is a Pixar movie.
the muffled sound of crying and my girlfriend screaming. Right?
Your mom's half in, half
Yeah,
out.
because the sound's been blocked off a bit to me, right? And she's just yelling, "Get me out, get me out!" This way. I think I've pulled my back out now, right? So I'm sitting on the side of the bed, just going, "Oh Jesus!" Right, sweating. I run up. I do another. This time I have to jump into it because she's gotten a bit of height. I jump. I'm inching her ass out of this hole, just bashing into it. Right.
I'm bashing into my mom's
It's
ass.
like the opposite of birth, right? Right.
Oh my god.
So I'm
Throwing
jumping
myself into my mom's holes.
So I'm just bashing into it. She's screaming like this. Steve walks around the corner. He's leathered. Now Steve's actually given up alcohol since this, but Steve's drunk on his boat, and he says the immortal words. He says, "Look," because the young lady's trying to pull her out, he goes, "Wendy, come and have a look at this. It's like when Winnie the Pooh gets stuck in the tree and Piglet tries to get him out with a stick."
Same shape.
Same shit.
Now I'm picturing your mom in a half shirt.
So in the end, Dad comes and Steve comes and they grab an arm each and they just pull, poof, right? She slides out onto the floor,
Like a mackerel.
right? Laying on her front, her muumuu has gone and shot over her head.
Oh,
She's just underwear. I come out, I look like I've fucking been through 10 rounds, right? And I just come out like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like that, right? And she's screaming because she can't. I learned something about my mum that day. If she's on her stomach, she can't roll over. So she's still screaming. We're all knackered. Steve comes back with an oar from his little dinghy that hangs out the back of the boat. Right?
yeah.
We wedge the oar underneath her.
Even Carolyn.
We roll her onto her back. And then I pull her up, and then she's sitting there crying like a really unhappy Buddha for maybe 40 minutes. And then because she just didn't want to go away from me. And then we propped her back up in a chair, and then we had to get her back out of the boat. So
I'll say this. You made a day of it.
yeah, we made a day of it.
Just like your mom predicted.
There was another time, fucking my brother had a pool, and my mum went, "Have you got a railing into the pool?" And then my brother went, "No, there's no fucking railing into the pool. It's just the pool. Just you jump in the pool, right?" And then she was like, "Can you put a railing in before I visit?" And he goes, "I'm not fucking putting a railing. I have to drain the pool. I have to fucking get some drills and put the railing in, and then refill it. You can't just go underwater with a drill. You have to. That's a big fucking job to put
But
a
she
railing."
didn't want the railing to get in.
She needed to get out, right?
Right.
So
Unless you have Steve and an
think
oar.
she would have learned after the boat incident.
Stop going places.
But my brother rings
Don't walk
me.
by cuckoo clocks. Don't go on boats. Don't
My
go
brother
in pools.
rings me up and he goes, "Mum's stuck in the pool." He goes, "She got in for a swim. We all went out and had a drink or whatever. I heard her crying there about 2 hours later when
Your mom must be so sunburned all the time.
No, but this was
She's
like
always stuck.
she went in the evening. It was like from 6 o'clock till fucking 8 p.m. Right?
Freezing.
Yeah. So it was a heated pool, luxury. And so she's
posh.
So she's out in the yard just wailing around in the pool, right? So he goes, those noodles that kids have.
Yeah,
in
the
pool
water
there?
noodles.
They had to put noodles, like 4 or 5 of them under each one of her
Your
arms.
mother should come with a dolly.
Yeah, under each one of her arms. And they had to lift her up like she was the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah.
Your face is melted.
So she can get out of the pool. But anyway, she still wants to come to America and she thinks she can do it. But I told her not to come to my house. I said, I I said,
A lot of stairs in your house.
Listen to what I said. I said, my house, some idiot designed it because all the bedrooms are upstairs.
Yeah, it's very up and down. I've been to your house. A lot of stairs. It's on a hill.
Yeah, and I went, and they go, why? She didn't see that objection. Why would they do that? And I go, I don't know, fucking stupid Americans.
Yeah, blame it on us. We don't care. Whatever we got to do to keep Carolyn in Australia.
She goes, I go, why do you want to come to America? And she goes, oh, I thought I'd like to go to San Francisco. And I went, the hilliest place on earth.
Yeah, she could roll one way.
Yeah, but she wants to go to Disneyland because you hear that they give them, they give you little scooters there.
Let me tell you something. If your mom's as obese as you say, Disneyland is the perfect place for her because that is filled with fat fucking people drinking Mountain Dew all day long on those scooters.
Those people who have got the scooter and you look at them like
they've eaten themselves off their legs.
Like, but it's like some of them aren't even that fat. It's like they're really embracing disability.
Yeah,
like,
Jim, you understand? We live in a country where there's guys that have lost their legs by stepping on explosives in Afghanistan. These people are on them because they fucking love cheese.
Yeah.
And Mountain Dew. Not Diet Mountain Dew and cheese. And they have cheese and Mountain Dew in the cup holders and a big giant hot dog on a stick.
Well,
you're right. They
deep
embrace
fried
it.
cheese,
It becomes like this bizarre disability, like, oh, you know how it is with me.
Well, I wish my mother would embrace it. I wish my mother would just go.
Your mom wants to go to Disneyland because they have scooters. Like, to her, that's the ride.
No, my mother lies about her eating. She goes to me. Oh, she likes the teacups as well.
She is the teacup.
Yeah, fucking squeeze her
She just
into
doesn't like the saucers.
She'd look like a fucking. Boom. You put her in a teacup, she'd look like a gift hamper, and
what?
You know, like just like a round cup with like a fluffy toy sticking out the top of it. Okay? So, but my mother lies about instead of just going, I eat cake. All right, shut up. I fucking like cake. I'm gonna die. Give me my fucking cake.
Yeah.
What she does is she'll be at dinner, and she'll go like I took her out to dinner in Sydney last time I was there. It was like a 5-star restaurant, and I thought I'd take my mum out for a big meal because whatever.
Yeah, it's your mom.
It's my mum. So I took her out there, and we're sitting there, and then at the end it's like dessert comes around. No one was having dessert, and then she goes, "Oh, they have a chocolate fondant cake," which is one of those lava cakes that they fucking sell you at Domino's every 6 months. They bring them back out again.
Yeah.
It's just the gooey bit in the middle, and the cake's and then she goes, "Oh, I've never had a chocolate fondant cake." Who the fuck hasn't had one of those, first of all? But she thinks if she goes...
Carolyn Jeffries.
She thinks if...
Carolyn Nugent,
excuse me. If she's never had one...
Then you know what? You should try it.
Then people would go, you should try one.
You've
they love
yeah.
You should try one.
Ooh.
Well,
what is this mozzarella cheese you speak of?
Yeah, exactly.
I've never had Brie cheese.
Exactly. She one day told me that because we're too poor. I've never tried lobster. So
what is Pepsi?
I bought her a fucking lobster, right? And I go, I bought Mum a lobster. Never had fucking lobster, right? Yeah, and then
that's a bet.
And then my brother goes, "What's she fucking talking about? I gave her lobster last time she was here."
I don't remember that.
I don't remember. Oh,
Jim Jeffries, January 17th. Make sure you watch his show. You are so goddamn fun to be around. And I'll say this about you. If I'm going to wrap this up and say nice things, which I like to keep it positive.
Oh, good.
I've never met Adam Carolla. Is a guy that you can just sit down, but just plug them in and they just go forever. But your level of stories that are true, that are hysterical, I can't go see Jim Jeffries anywhere he's performing. He's one of the funny. Obviously, you just heard him for an hour and change. How goddamn funny he is. Go see Legit FX. That's 10:30 Thursdays after Archer. And any social media that you can blow apart, letting them know that you're watching Jim Jeffries on Legit, make sure you do it. Get this guy paid. He's got a kid, for crying out loud. Congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
I bet the baby never had lobster.
The baby's...
We met a lobster at the airport.
The baby's getting fatter off the Atkins diet. He's getting fat.
We were at the zoo. We met a lobster. Said he'd never seen a Canadian before. Did you know you can... My accents are the worst. I can do Walken and Tracy, and that's it.
Oh, you do good impersonations, though. Yeah. I had...
my British guy
one of the producers, Paul Bernard, said to me, who's the producer on the show.
Oh, let's not forget you wanted me to go on your show to play myself as a rapist.
That's season 2. That episode got cut from this season. We wrote 15 episodes. It still exists.
You wrote 15 episodes where I played Jay Mohr, convicted rapist.
Not
Jay Mohr playing a convicted rapist. Hell, here comes Jay Mohr. Remember the rapist, Jay, the actor, Jay. And you and Peter at the Universal Amphitheater were all at a concert together, and you're like, yeah. And Peter's like, yeah, when he gets those crazy fucking LSD eyes, yeah. It'd be you, right? But as yourself. And I'm like, all right, but you're a rapist. I'm like, wait, what? like I'm playing a rapist? Yeah, but you're you, and everyone knows you're a I go, well, hold on. This is a show based on the real life stories of Jim Jeffries.
There was another comedian. There was another comedian that I tried to stop a rape.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Jim Jeffries in the house.
Hello.
This is my first time talking to you as a in person. Talking to you as a dad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been a dad now for 2 months. November 6th, so you'll be by the time this goes out, you'll probably be 2 months old.
And your baby's name is Shaquille.
Hank.
Oh,
Hank.
What did I say?
Hank Shaquille.
Oh, sorry.
Hank Lennon Jeffries.
Lennon, named after the famous communist.
And the Beatle, yes.
Oh, both?
Yeah,
it's
both.
A twofer.
Yeah, we put the I and the O at the end of it.
Do you put umlauts over the O like Motley Crue?
So there was no confusion. And Jeffries isn't even my second name. So he's got a different name from me and his mother.
Really?
Yeah, my real second name's Nugent, but I got a stage name.
But Jim Nugent's cool.
Yeah, well, but my real name's Jeffrey Nugent.
And Jim you just picked out of the air?
No, Jim's my middle name. And then I was going
Jeffrey Jim Nugent?
I was going to call myself Jeffrey James, and I tried that for a week, and then I changed it to Jim Jeffries.
That sounds like a gay porn star.
Jeffrey James.
Eat that mic for me.
Yeah,
no, I meant literally. I meant. I realized it came. I'm just a gay porn star. Eat that mic. Things overheard at a gay porn shoot. Eat that mic.
Eat that mic's a good name for a porn movie.
Eat that. Yeah, it'd be like Last Comic Standing with dicks.
Yeah. I actually got given the girl who does my hair. Not in general life, but on the TV show. She is some connection to porn. She used to work in porn, doing porn hair. And so she brought me in a whole lot of free porn, and I've got a copy of Tosh Porno.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, where they just look at internet clips of people fucking, and he makes jokes about it while it's going on.
It's really the lost niche that never took off, and that is porn bloopers. You always think it's a good idea.
You've watched them though. You've tried to watch them, but it's just sad.
Yeah, and
it's
then
always
it's like
someone slipping over as they come, and it's
a girl
not funny.
Like, that's my eye, you asshole.
Yeah, or some guy farting in someone's face. It's never pleasant. You actually feel bad for the people.
Yeah, it never.
And that makes porn lose its fun. As soon as you feel bad for the porn star, it's lost all of its appeal.
Yeah, I really need to feel better than you, not feel better than you because you're getting injured because the mule that was supposed to fuck you kicked you in the stomach.
I used to say a joke years ago about my favorite porn star was Rocco Siffredi. And people always wondered why my favorite porn star was a man. Because when you watch him, there's a little bit of your brain that goes, she might die.
When she's with him?
He was so violent, that guy. But it's you know how old you're getting by... Now I look at, like, there's porn stars that I used to like that now I'm like, I'm done with you. You're too old.
We're breaking up.
Yeah, right. Because you have your girls that you're into for a little while, and then you get rid of them. I used to like Sylvia Saint was a big one for me, and now she just looks like Euro trash. I don't really...
I like how you say that. Like she wasn't Eurotrash when she came upon the scene. Like she used to be an all-American down-home girl. Now she's just like Eurotrash.
Well, she is European. She's Czech, I think. I don't know.
She's a porn star. She kind of came off the boat as fucking trash.
Do you ever feel bad when one of them dies?
At Ellis Island, she said, "I would like to chug cock. Please point." And then you're like, you know what? Now she's kind of tarnished.
I think she did it in Europe. In her defense.
All right.
I don't think she came.
Is that still so? There's American trash and Eurotrash.
Yeah, there's Eurotrash as well. Which is a different thing. They have a TV show in the UK called Eurotrash, which is just them. It's a comedy show about porn that's on like regular TV.
How many TV shows are there about porn? Oh, I want to go back to your porn hairstylist.
Have I ever told you the story about when I was in it? You're like this thing's not going to do it, but your hand can do different pressure, and your hand knows.
Pulling your own nuts.
Yeah, your hand knows what to do, so you might pull it out of your girl and wank for the last 30 seconds to finish the
prostate massage.
The gig, right? Yeah, whatever it takes.
Give the undercarriage a bit of the how's your father.
So anyway, they decided they're going to do the cum shot. So she just propped herself up, and it wasn't even like a bed. It was like these styrofoam blocks they were fucking on, right? So
British.
So she's like sitting on the edge of these things, and then he starts wanking in the corner. And as he gets close to coming, he just yells out. Yells out, "I'm coming!" Right? And she sort of just perks up a little bit and sits on the bed waiting to get her 300 pounds worth of jizz in the face. And so he's doing that, and then I'm sitting backstage because I've got to come through this smoky door after he comes and go, "Wasn't that brilliant? Well done. Congratulations." Right? So I was getting very nervous, and she yells out to him. She goes, "You're a blobber, right?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm a blobber," right? Because they'd worked together, but she was trying to remember whether he was a blobber or a shooter. Shooter obviously meaning that she'd have to get parallel with the cock so the cum could shoot into her face. Blobber, he means he dripped down, so she had to get underneath and do the tongue out.
I didn't know all this lingo. I'm learning so much from Jim.
I only learned it as well. So anyway, he fucking shoots his what? And this is on film.
Why are you writing any material when you can just say this on stage?
Right, so I walk out and
You're a blobber, right?
And so I walk out and I go, "Wasn't that great?" And I start clapping and I shake him on the hand. Right? And then I go to just natural. I just go, "Oh, I'll kiss her." "Oh, Jesus, look at you!" Get real close to kissing her on the cheek for whatever reason.
And she's blobbed.
Yeah. Then I put my arm around her and around the pigtails and the pink things and
that might have been Britney Spears in all fairness.
And the school outfit. And at that stage, those two had been slagging each other off in the media, so it was controversial, it was topical. And so he came out. It goes through the smoky door, and they come out dressed. And then I sort of went, "Well, do what you got to do." Then I fucking step off the set, and then I just sat there as they filmed these people fucking for about 4 hours. The guy left his hockey mask on during the whole thing and only lifted it up ever so slightly to go down on it, just so his tongue was poking out the bottom. Anyway, one of the coolest things about it that I'll remember this moment till I die, right? That they were changing camera angle, not camera angles, it's fucking handheld, lighting or set or whatever. They were changing something around. And the guy's still wearing the hockey mask and I'm sitting on a stool. Because I had an erection. I normally don't wear a suit. And like if you never wear a suit, it feels like pajama pants, doesn't it? Like this flowy cotton instead of wearing denim next to your crotch. It was very awkward. So
you can hide a boner in jeans easy.
In jeans, easy.
Just point it straight up.
Yeah, but in a suit, it's...
It's a
anyway, so I'm sitting there with my erection because I've been watching people fucking, and this guy in the hockey mask, he came and stood next to me. So I'm sitting in a chair, and at eye level, his erection's right next to my face, and he's just masturbating to stay hard, right? And I'm sitting there, and he's just chatting to people. And he turns to me and he goes, "Hey, Jim, how'd you get into comedy?" And I went, "Oh, just did some open spots when I was at university, standard sort of thing." And he doesn't stop stroking, and he goes, "I don't know how you do that, mate. That's got to be the hardest job in the world." And they went back to fucking. Now, at the end of it, I don't know if people know the porn world as much, but the cum shots, these guys fuck so much. It's very hard for them to come using another person, you know. So,
What do you mean?
Well, you know how sometimes, like, if you're fucking someone and you've been going out with them for long enough, you're a bit used to the cunt, and you're like, porn.
No.
There we go. See, there's things you don't know about me.
There's many.
When I first started doing comedy in the UK, and I'd been doing comedy for about 6 months, my manager came to me with a proposition of doing a porno as a host.
Okay.
Right? I have the footage of it. There's a video that I have that I've brought back from in storage in the UK. It does exist, but basically what it was there was a TV show that was very popular in the UK called Stars in Their Eyes, which was basically people would come on the show and go, tonight, Matthew, who was the host, I'm going to be Paul McCartney. And they'd put you in the outfit and they'd give you the wig and you'd come out and you'd sing Yesterday, right?
Okay.
Or you could be anyone you wanted to, and that was people being dressed up as their favorite celebrity.
Right.
Like they used to have celebrity stars in those where Boy George came on and did David Bowie and stuff like that. So like it was a popular show. Right. Anyway, I did a parody version of that called Come in Their Eyes, where I was the game show host, right? And we had this one girl come out. And I was about 23 at this stage. I was a real young bloke, and I'd never been in
not
front
old
of
enough to know about it.
No, not even being in front of a camera or anything. This is a great bit of training for me. And I dressed up in my one suit that I had. I think I was getting maybe £1,000, which was a lot of money. Especially when the girl who got fucked in the ass got £300, because British porn doesn't pay much, right? So anyway, so. They got.
No wonder Sylvia Saint came here.
Yeah, these were pretty low. This is a low rent girl. Now the guy, I don't know how much he was getting paid, but the guy came out and I said, "Who are you going to be today?" And he goes, "Tonight, Jim." I used my real name, of course, in the porn. I didn't have a. Anyway, he goes, "Tonight, Jim, I'm going to be Eminem," and this is back in the Eminem dungaree, like overalls, hockey mask, chainsaw era.
Yeah. And
right?
what girl doesn't want to get fucked by that?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you who. A girl that dressed as Britney Spears, and she came out in the Hit Me Baby One More Time.